Hola, y'all. I was recently asked the question, how the heck does el and la both mean the in Spanish? Let me explain. Okay, first things first. First thing to know is that in Spanish, all nouns are assigned a gender. This is a little bit different for English speakers. Nouns are not assigned a gender, but all nouns, a person, a place, or a thing, or an abstract idea, all of them are assigned a gender. So every word is either masculine, every noun is either masculine or it is feminine. It has nothing to do with an actual woman or a man. It is just randomized. Someone a long time ago said this word's going to be masculine, this word's going to be feminine, and that's what we go with. As a general rule of thumb, if a noun ends in an O, it is a masculine word. If a noun ends in an A, it is a feminine word. Of course, there's always exceptions to the rule, and there's lots of other endings that make it a masculine or a feminine word too, and always the exceptions to the rules. But in general, if you see a noun ends in an O, it's more than likely masculine. If you see a word ends in an A, it is more than likely feminine. Let's look at a couple of examples of masculine nouns. You will see all of these end in O, so these are the typical ones, not exceptions. We have el libro, the book, el gato, the cat, el carro, the car, and el amigo, the friend. And in this case, the friend is a guy because it is masculine. Now let's look at a couple of examples of feminine nouns. We have la silla, the chair. We have la escuela, the school, la camisa, the shirt, and la amiga, the friend. In this case, la amiga is feminine. It's a girl that is a friend. Now let me add one more thing that's going to make your head explode. Not only do el and la mean the, but so do los and las. Now they are the plurals, but el, la, los, and las, all four mean the in Spanish. They are called the direct articles because we're talking about a specific thing: the chair, the friend, the school, the cat. So there are four ways of saying the in Spanish, not two. Now that you know there's actually four ways instead of two, let me explain it just a little bit. So we have el and la, meaning the, masculine and feminine, you know now. But now we're just going to throw in the plurals. So el in the plural form is los when you're talking about more than one masculine thing. And then la in the plural form is las when you're talking about more than one thing that is feminine. So el becomes los, la becomes las when you're talking about more than one thing. Let's look at the chart. Maybe the visual will help it. Visuals always help me. I like to see things and it makes make sense for me. So if you have something that is masculine and it is singular, you're going to use el. If it is masculine and plural, more than one of them, you're going to use los. Same thing with la. If it's singular, one thing that's feminine, la. If it's plural, more than one thing that's feminine, you're going to use las. It's just kind of a pattern. You just kind of memorize it and it makes sense. So now let's look at some examples of the plurals. So we have el libro, the book, then it goes to los libros, the books. El gato, the cat, becomes los gatos, the cats. And then we have el carro, los carros, the car, the cars, and el amigo and los amigos, more than one friend. And of course, we can't forget about the feminine examples. So we have la silla, las sillas, the chairs, more than one chair. La escuela, las escuelas. La camisa, the shirt, las camisas, more than one shirt. And then la amiga and las amigas. In this case, las amigas is a bunch of friends, but they happen to all be girls. A general rule of thumb when you are memorizing new vocabulary in Spanish is just to go ahead and memorize that article with the noun. It's almost always, if not always, listed together as a phrase. Memorize the phrase, and then that way you will always know whether it's a masculine word or a feminine word. This will not only help you with direct articles, the, el, la, los, and las, it'll also help you with indirect articles, which are the ones that we use when we're not talking about something specific. These are the indirect articles I was talking about. You'll see that there's un and unos and una and unas. These are the masculine, the feminine, the singular, and the plural versions of the indirect articles, meaning that you're being very general and not specific. You don't know exactly which one you're talking about. So you really need to know if something is masculine or feminine or singular or plural to use these as well. So memorizing the article with the noun when you learn a new word is super helpful for both. Okay, super quick recap. So there are actually 4 ways of saying the in Spanish. We have el, la, los, and las. And you will know which one to use based on whether it is singular, plural, feminine, or masculine. Which combination will tell you which one you're using, el, la, los, or las. If a noun ends in an O, typically it is masculine, and if it ends in an A, it is typically feminine. But there are some other telltales, endings, that will let you know whether a word is typically masculine or feminine. And I'm going to make a second video on that. So if you want to learn a little bit more on how to identify masculine and feminine words just a little bit more easily, check that one out. And until next time, have a good day.